We kick off Mello Tv Sports with some exciting football news as Top Flight is set to return on the island on June 26 and will run through to September 26. The Premier League was suspended in March of last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but was recently given the go-ahead by the Jamaican government. Professional Football Jamaica Limited (PFJL) has secured a raft of sponsors for the new league, which will be staged without spectators. The first round will be a round robin with the top 6 to play in one group and the bottom 6 in another. Now the top 2 will then qualify for the semi-finals, with the other 2 semi-finalists to come from 3 to 6 competing in another round robin. 7 to 12 will play a round robin for seedings for the following season. The semi-finals will pit 1 and versus 4 and the top 2 against 3 over 2 legs. The winners will meet in a one-way final. The National Stadium, Sabina Park, Stadium East, and JFF Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence will host the games. Meanwhile, World Football governing body FIFA is set to consider staging the World Cup every 2 years in its latest Congress tomorrow. The proposal has been put on the agenda of the latest summit by the Saudi Arabian Football Federation, which is close to FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Discussion of a possible feasibility study of a World Cup every 2 years instead of 4 is likely to concern national leagues and clubs who are seeking player burnout in an already packed calendar. It comes after FIFA's football development chief Arsene Wenger suggested in March that the World Cup, the European Championship, and other international tournaments be held every 2 years. It was an idea immediately dubbed unrealistic by European leagues, a body which groups 37 leagues and club associations in Europe, but still featured in a report carried out by Wenger and released last week. Changes to the Uefa Champions League, which will take effect from 2024, will add 100 games to the European football calendar. Suggestions, however, are that the 2-year World Cup proposal will be used as a negotiating position to make room for the Club World Cup. Manchester City's Ruben Diaz has been crowned Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year for the 2020 to 2021 season. The Portuguese defender picked up more votes than Man City teammate Kevin De Bruyne and Tottenham striker Harry Kane to claim the honor. Manchester City's excellence on their way to the Premier League title this season was reflected in the voting, as 9 of Pep Guardiola's players picked up votes, which accounted for 50% of the total votes cast. Diaz is the first defender to win the award since Liverpool's Stevie Nicol back in 1989. The 24-year-old, after joining from Benfica last summer for £65 million, has made 31 appearances for City this season, scoring 1 goal and helping his side to register 14 clean sheets when he is in the team. 7 medical professionals have been charged with simple homicide with eventual intent in the death of Argentinian legend Diego Maradona. The prosecutor's office in San Isidro, Argentina, which opened an investigation into the Argentine legend's death, have requested to the judge that those individuals indicted not be permitted to leave the country. If found guilty, those accused could face between 8 to 25 years in prison. Maradona died at the age of 60 on November 25, 2020 from heart failure, 2 weeks after undergoing brain surgery. Leopoldo Luque, the neurosurgeon who performed a successful brain operation on Maradona, and psychiatrist Agostina Kashov, who treated the former Napoli star, are among the 7 individuals being charged. The 2 have denied any wrongdoing. Audio of private conversation between doctors and people from Maradona's entourage were leaked to the media and have indicated that Maradona was not being properly looked after prior to his death. Now over to cricket news now. The tournament window for the 2021 Caribbean Premier League has been confirmed for August 28 through to September 19. This year, the tournament will take place in St. Kitts and Nevis, with all 33 matches being played at Warner Park. This follows on from the successful staging of the CPL in Trinidad and Tobago in 2020. In 2020, the tournament had a combined viewership of 523 million, an increase of 67% on 2019. Now on to some tragic track and field news. The man who has held the national junior 800-meter record for over 50 years, Neville Myton, has passed yesterday after a battle with cancer. Myton was 74 and represented Jamaica at the 1964 and 1968 Summer Olympics in the 800 and the 1500-meter events. He won double gold in the 800 meters and was also a part of the winning mile relay team at the 1966 Central American and Caribbean Games in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Myton's national junior record for the 800 meters set in 1964 stands at 1 minute 47.20 seconds. As a coach, Myton had a hand in the development of Olympians Veronica Campbell-Brown and Simone Facey. He joins former sprinter Dennis D.J. Johnson and Les Lang as Jamaican Olympians to have passed this year. Finally, in the sports news tonight, Lebron James produced the game-winning shot with 58 seconds left on the clock to see the Los Angeles Lakers to a 103-100 win over the Golden State Warriors in their playing game last night, securing a place in the Western Conference playoffs. James has shot a 34-foot three-pointer despite struggling to see after a foul to the face. James received treatment after he appeared to be poked in the eye by Draymond Green with 2 minutes left in the game. LA faced the second-seeded Phoenix Suns in the playoffs on Sunday. Stephen Curry scored 37 points, but it was not enough for the Warriors, who must beat the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow to advance. The Grizzlies defeated the San Antonio Spurs 100-96 in their playing game to set up the meeting. The winners will become the 8th seeds and play the top-seeded Utah Jazz in the first round of the playoffs. And those are the stories making sports news tonight. We now head back to the news desk with Shelley and Hill.